Good morning, everybody. So today I'm going to answer a question that I get asked quite a lot, and it's basically how do we get started in match betting? What's like the first steps that we need to take? We've got Cheltenham Festival coming up in, I think it's a month now actually. I think it's a month last week maybe. So we've got the Cheltenham Festival coming up. So clearly there's a lot of people and there's a lot of interest because it's a great week. It's kind of the best week for match betting. So a lot of people want to get into this space, but they're a little bit unsure of how to actually go about this. So what I want to do with this video, it's going to be slightly longer probably than my usual sort of 10 minutes or so videos. But what I want to do is to kind of go into OddsMonkey, sort of dig into it a little bit and show you kind of what it's got to offer, why it benefits you to have this, and why basically it's such good value. So just looking at their website here, you know, it kind of just says make money online with OddsMonkey, which is, you know, fantastic. Lots of smiley faces and some nice videos and stuff, so it's worth taking a look into this. They also mention that they've got like match betting software. I would say OddsMonkey have probably got the best match betting software now. They're doing constant updates to it as well, which makes it even better to use. So that's great. So there's a few points down here. You know, like you've got they were the brains of the operation. They've got the odds matcher, which is awesome. The odds matcher basically helps you just find bets that you can place, basically, so you don't have to sort of search them manually. You've got all these calculators, all different calculators to start off with, you know, that you can use. I mean, really, at the beginning, you probably just need one or two. You don't need to worry about that too much. Guides and tutorials, they've got tons of these. So they've got like video guides, they've got written guides. They've obviously got like the forums as well, which is amazing. So, you know, there's guides in there that people have written from the community. You've also got things like the daily offers calendar, which is literally priceless. So you can go into the daily offers calendar and you can kind of see, you know, what's great and you know what the good offers are. And then they just kind of go through some stats here, and then they kind of show you a little screenshot of the odds matching tool. I'll show you that in a second because that's quite good. And you can kind of see some of the training stuff here. The daily calendar, which actually looks a lot better now than this screenshot, which is awesome. And then they've just got some reviews. And yeah, I think this is by far the best sort of site for match betting or getting into match betting, and all the tools that they've got. It's pretty amazing. In terms of price, now what I want to suggest today is start on the free tier, because if you're brand new to this, you don't want to kind of just go in and start paying money straight away. What you want to do is you want to kind of sign up for the free tier, and you can earn up to 45 quid. There's links in the description down below that you can just click on. They will basically take you to the OddsMonkey website, and you can just sign up and away you go. You don't need any card details or anything like that. It's activated straight away. And you get online support. I mean, it says basic online support here, but to be honest, I think anyone that you ask at OddsMonkey will be more than happy to help you. If you get any if you do sign up and you get any questions, by all means reach out to me, and I'll do my best to help you. Now, once you've gone through that and you've say earned £45, you then probably want to go on and carry on making more money, which is probably a wise choice. And a lot of people see this price and go, £17.99, that's quite expensive, you know, will I be able to make that back? And my answer to that is absolutely yes. You'll be able to make this back easy in a month. I pay £17.99, and depending on what you're doing, I mean, my typical month, I think I worked out at about £1,000 a month I'm making out of match betting, and I'm doing this part-time. I don't do match betting full-time. I've got a full-time job. So yeah, so it's definitely worth doing. It's definitely worth this price, and you get all these tools and communities and all sorts. But anyway, oh, and a money-back guarantee, that's always nice. So let's have a look. I'm going to log into my account. Okay, so I'm logged into my account, and as you can see, there's quite a lot of stuff here. Now, one thing I will say is ignore these numbers, because I started using the profit tracker, and then I basically started using my own spreadsheet. So These numbers are obviously not representative. I've earned way more than £1,000 since I've had this. I think in one of my last videos, I think it was not the last video, but maybe the one before, or maybe it was the last video actually. I basically made around 10 grand last year, tax free as well. And that's the other thing about match betting, is that it is absolutely tax free. So let's get into this and let's look at some of this stuff. Now, it's quite easy to get overwhelmed with all the information on this page, especially because this is like not a brand new account and it's also a premium account. But what I will say is just concentrate on the things that matter to you at the beginning of your journey, if this is the beginning of your journey. So literally up here, you can just see where it says start. I think some of these options won't actually even be there on a free account straight away. You'll just have like start and a few of these offers. So you'll probably be less overwhelmed with all of this. So you can kind of see, like, you've got details about your own account there. You've got like recent community posts from people. You've then got like a breakdown of like the offers that you've completed and whatnot. You can refer a friend and make some money that way, which is nice. You can also do this with family. I've done this a few times and got family involved as well. And then, yeah, you've got like this profit tracker, which I say I don't use. I mean, it's great. I love the profit tracker, but I wanted to keep everything in a spreadsheet. It's a little bit easier for me to understand that way. So let's go into it. So if you click on start, this is where I recommend. Now, you've got some reading to do. Some of this is quite heavy reading, so you will need to just kind of take some time. Now, this looks super overwhelming, but honestly, the information in this tutorial and the ones afterwards, it kind of becomes second nature. So you don't need to kind of worry too much about it. But one thing I will say is just read through this slowly, take your time. There's no need to kind of sort of go crazy and sort of rush through all of this. You just take your time with it, absorb the information, and you'll do fine. So this is basically going to teach you how to start match betting, which is obviously the important point here. So with match betting, obviously it's not gambling. You can make sure that you don't lose money every time, because essentially what we're doing is we're betting on say a football match, say for Manchester United to win, and then you're laying against that bet as well on an exchange. So that basically means that you're betting for Manchester United not to win as well. So because you're betting for them to win and you're betting for them not to win, which includes the draw, because if they draw, that's not winning, you've basically covered all outcomes. And if the odds are the right numbers, which we can find out through the OddsMatcher tool, then basically you won't lose any money. You'll essentially break even, or very close to break even. You might lose like 10, 20 pence or something like that on close matches. So the obvious question then is, well, how do you make money? Well, obviously, when you do that, that can be what's called a qualifying bet. So if you place that bet, you lose no money or you lose a very small amount, but then you gain a free bet from the bookmaker because they want to keep you betting, right? So they will then give you a £10 or £20 or £5 free bet, and then you can take that bet and you can just do exactly the same thing as what we've done, except this time, because one side is a free bet and the other side is your own money, regardless of whether you win or lose, in the same sense, it basically means that you're extracting money from that free bet. So typically it's around 80%. So if you've got a £10 free bet, you can make about £8-ish. The holy grail of offers is Bet365, and they do an offer where they don't do this all the time, they do this every so often. They did it this week, just gone. But if you bet £50, they'll give you a £50 free bet that you can use. And you can normally extract about 30 quid from that one bet, which is lovely. You know, it's literally £30 free bet for, I don't know, 10 minutes work, maybe. So yeah, so that's what kind of match betting is in a nutshell. This tutorial goes over it much, much deeper. And like I say, all these other ones, they tell you what betting exchanges are. They walk you through the, in fact, if I just click on some of these like betting exchanges, look, they kind of show you what the betting exchange is. and kind of guides to, sign up for like Betfair. One thing to note about betting exchanges is that they are totally cool with match betting. Obviously, the bookies they don't want people to do match betting because you're basically playing them at their own game. You're basically extracting value from them. So they don't like match betting, the bookmakers. They can't really do anything about it apart from restrict you. It's not illegal or anything like that. It's perfectly legal. It's just that they don't like it because they want to keep people as customers who are losing all the time. But obviously we're a bit smarter than that, so we don't fall into that category. But as far as the exchanges are concerned, they are totally cool with match betting, so that's what almost they're there for. So don't worry about that side of things. But you can go through and you can sign up for the exchanges. There's more than one. You've got Betfair, you've got Smarkets, but for now don't worry about all of that, just literally sign up for one. So that talks about the exchanges. The odds matcher is really cool because the old way of doing it would be that you would have to match your bet manually, and some people still do this, which is totally fine. And that basically means having two websites open, having the exchange open and having the bookie open at the same time. And then basically from there you would literally compare the odds manually by looking at them both. Now obviously that's a bit time consuming, and for somebody that's just getting started in this, it's kind of difficult, a bit overwhelming and just a bit scary. So we don't do that kind of thing. We use an actual tool. And have they got any shots? No, they've not got any screenshots of the tool in here, but I'll show you that in a second. They've got a video here which will go through everything, but I'll show you it here anyway. They talk about like liability as well. So if you have a free bet that you want to use, for example, you have to lay that bet off, and then you have some liability. That's to basically cover you on both sides. So you will need some money to start off with to get into match betting. So the money that you'll need is a little bit of money to place the bet. So if you usually the offers are like place £10 bet on this site. So that's £10 you'll need to place the bet, and then typically you'll need probably around, I don't know, maybe another 80-90 quid to cover the liability. So you're looking at about a minimum, I would say personally, of £100 to get started. You could do it with less, but I think realistically, starting with £100 is probably the lowest I would really advise. The problem becomes in that when you get proficient at this, you'll start doing multiple offers at once, and obviously that means you'll need to add more money into like the liability side and into the exchange. You're not risking that money, it's not being risked at all, but the problem is you just need to back up your bets with lay bets, and to do that you just need more money. So as you start this journey, you'll find that you're basically running out of money initially, unless you've got a big stack. You'll be running out of money initially, and you'll be like, right, well, I can't do anything until my money comes back to me. That's perfectly normal. That's perfectly fine. As you build up your bank and do the offers, then you'll get more and more into it. So that's kind of like what you'll need. And then the last two things that they have here, they have two offers, one for Sky Bet and one for Betfred, and they literally give you bullet points as to how to do these. So it's literally like register at Sky Bet, deposit £10, change to decimal odds. They talk about that in the tutorial, so don't worry about that. It's really easy. It's just a drop down that you have to select. It's just so that you don't see fractional odds, because honestly, who works in fractions these days? My brain doesn't work that way. It's all decimals. In fact, the only way I know fractional odds now is because I've used little conversion tools before, and they're just kind of ingrained in my brain now. So it's more of a memory thing than a mathematical remembering thing, but don't worry about that, it's perfectly fine. And then they literally walk you through like the qualifying bet. So this is like the first bet where you make no money, and then the follow-up bet is where you've got like the free bet, and they tell you, basically give you instructions on how to extract the profit. And again, they've got details of this. This is a good example of the odds matcher that I was talking about. So you can kind of see the details here. This looks really scary, overwhelming, but honestly, it's dead simple. You just need to take your time, learn this. Don't stress about it. Don't worry about it. It's perfectly fine. And then you can basically set it up from here. You can kind of see how much you'd lose. So for example, this guy's placing a £10 bet, and he's set to lose 57 pence, but this is obviously a qualifying bet. So yeah, so that's fine. And then they literally just walk you through, and then again with the free bet, and then they'll show you like how much you'll profit. So on this one, he's got a £10 free bet, and is extracting £7.68, and it's £7.68 he'll get. And it also shows you the different outcomes at the bottom here. So like if the bookmaker wins, if the exchange wins, you know, as you can see in both scenarios, he'll make his money that way. So OddsMonkey's great for getting into match betting, definitely great, but it's also amazing for once you've been doing it for a while, because they've got so much more information. So when you sign up for the tutorial, this is basically what you get. This here, you get some tools, like you'll get obviously the odds matcher, because you'll need that. So if I just click on this for a second, so what you can do is, if you had an offer at, say, I don't know, let's have a look. Say if you had a football offer, and you wanted to just look at the market for like win, lose or draw, not like correct score or anything, you know, just betting on a team. Say the bookmaker was, let's pick somebody, I don't suppose this really matters, but I don't know, let's try and pick somebody. Ladbrokes is a good one. And then say if you wanted to look at like Smarkets, that's the exchange you've signed up for, and that's the one that you're using. And say the match happens like tonight, you can kind of say, well, that's within like 12 hours. And I only want things that match 80%. This is basically how good is the match. If you set this to 100%, you would only get perfect matches, which is difficult to find. They're not always there. So like anything like 95 and above is probably okay for qualifying bets. And then you kind of just click this apply filter, and you get some results. Now these results are basically, they give you the time and date of the game, they give you the actual game, they're telling you what side to bet on. They're basically saying here that it's a 97% match, and they give the back odds and the lay odds. So as you can see, like the back odds and the lay odds are quite close, so that's why it's a 97% match. The other thing that they do is they show you the amount of money in the market. So what you'll notice is like here, like 581, whereas this one is like £44. The general way to look at this is that the more money in the market, it means it's a more popular market. It's like this Arsenal game, this Chelsea game, you know, they're relatively big games, but like this Shakhtar game is probably a smaller game, or this Valencia game versus Celtic. You know, there's less money in there. So what you can do is, once you've clicked on this, say this one here, it'll bring up this pop-up, and in the pop-up you can then basically, if you go to the pop-up, you can basically see like the time of the game, the actual game name, the details, and then if you go show calculator. Now again, this looks overwhelming, but don't worry about it, it's really straightforward once you've gone through the training. But basically you're saying, right, bet like, I don't know, £10 here. So you put £10 in, and that's the odds at the bookmaker. Obviously you don't get charged any commission to place a bet, so that's fine. And then this is the exchange, and then, you know, you kind of go this way with like the exchange, and you kind of be able to see the odds. You can do this to refresh the odds. Then you've got like the commission. Now you will be charged commissions at the exchange, but I mean, there are ways to get 0%. I can do videos on those, or there's information again in the training on how to get 0%. And then basically you can kind of see like the bottom line, you know, you will lose 27 pence, but that's fine. You know, we're happy to lose 27 pence because essentially you're spending 27 pence to make a guaranteed £8. So it's like somebody up the street coming to you and saying, would you like to buy this £10? I'll charge you £2 for it. You know, why wouldn't you? Well, you'd probably be skeptical and run away. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of that scenario. You know, you're buying for 27 pence a free bet worth £8 to you. So that's kind of like the odds matching tool, which is awesome. What else have we got? Now we've got calculators. So if you just click on this calculator, don't worry about any of these other calculators or accumulators or all these tools. These tools kind of open up as you get further and further into match betting, but seriously, don't worry about them at all. So here is a basic calculator. You can kind of say the back odds are 3.5 on the bookmaker. This is if you want to do it manually. And then say if it's like 2.9 on the exchange with say a 2% commission. And then, you know, by doing this, for example, if you had these odds, you can see that you would make £1.91 if you placed a £10 bet here and then laid it off. And it'll tell you here what you need to lay it off on the exchange. So laying off, remember, is betting against the outcome that you're betting for on the bookmaker. So by betting for it and then laying off against it on the exchange, you'll need £23 to cover that, and your overall profit that you'll make, regardless of which side wins or loses, you'll make £1.91. So that's basically the first few tools that you get in the initial sign up, the free account. Like I say, don't worry about these things too much, but this is basically like, you know, profit trackers and stuff like that. So I'll just show you that briefly. So you can kind of see, like, you can put each bet in here, and you can you can put each bet in here, and you can kind of see your profits and losses and whatnot. The other great thing is the community. There's an awesome community on OddsMonkey. So you've got, I'm just trying to think where's the best. So if you go into general, you can kind of go into here, and then they'll give you, what's a good way? What's a good thread? In fact, tell you where to go. If you go into here, you can do like price boosts. You'll understand what price boosts are, but they basically give you, like, you know, what to bet on, which is awesome. And then like, this is why it's awesome, because you've got so much information here. You've got all these video guides. These video guides are for like getting started. You find that you don't use these so much as you get more and more into match betting, but the video guides are really good when you're getting started, because they obviously it's a bit more security when you're first getting started, because everyone's nervous when they're starting match betting for the first time, so it's pretty normal. So these guides are really good for that. They've got general tips, guidelines, product guides, and then the other thing that they've got is the daily offers calendar. This is kind of what we look at from day to day, so you can kind of see like what's good for today. So you can kind of see, like, here, you've got all these different offers. And the best thing about it at the minute, and this is really new, is you see these thumbs up and thumbs down. These basically tell you the offers that are live on the site at the minute that people or the community have basically really enjoyed. Like this Betfair exchange one, people are kind of like in the middle of the road with that one. Okay, they're kind of like, well, I don't know, kind of make money, kind of can't. But if you order it by upvotes and then just refresh, you can kind of see today everybody is really happy with this offer, which is Paddy Power, bet 40/120 and get free spins. Free spins is like casino stuff, so again, don't worry about that too much just yet. And then basically you've got like the William Hill stuff, so like the golden goal, everybody loves that. That's basically where you get paid out if your team scores first. And then goes on to lose, I think it is. So if your team scores first and then ends up drawing at the end of the match, you get paid out from both sides essentially. And then you've got like things like 2-ups and stuff. So it's pretty amazing. So have a look. What I'll do is, like I say, I'll put a link in the description below where you can sign up to OddsMonkey. It is an affiliate link, so I do get a little bit of a kickback from that. Which helps to just, you know, so I can do these videos, so that's really, really appreciated. Just have a look through there, sign up, see what you think. If nothing else, you can just make 45 quid and get out of there, and, you know, you're done, and you've not spent a penny. Or if you want to carry on, you know, then you can sub to a premium account and you'll make way more than you pay for the sub anyway. And like I say, if you get any problems, by all means reach out to me. And reach out to the community, or, you know, whoever, and we'll give you a hand in getting started. But I just thought I'd put this together just to kind of help people that are just wanting to get started, because, like I say, Cheltenham is coming up, and, you know, people want to get involved. And I think it's good to just have like a little video to kind of say this is the way to go. You can't go wrong basically with the community and everybody that's like around this type of offer, around this type of website, sorry. So yeah, so take a look, see what you think, and leave any comments below. Like, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one, guys. So thanks very much. Ciao.